Through these halls, where lovers get lost and lust consumes the wicked, a place where reality collides with fantasy, in the pages where romance is second to none. Welcome to the Lover's Library.
Hey lovers,
I'm Carly.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Zoe.
Welcome back to the podcast.
We are here.
Yeah. Oh, we should
To discuss books.
Oh my ladies, welcome to the tea.
I cannot. I gasp and clutch my pearls.
Pearls are clutched.
She grasped her bosom.
I mean, they did often.
A lot of bosom grabbing in these books.
So if you can't tell, the book we're covering is a historical romance.
It sure is.
Which is my vibe. Now, I will say this. When Zoe mentioned that she wanted to do a historical romance, I honestly didn't think we would ever cover a historical romance because it's not y'all's vibes normally.
I don't know.
that's true.
I think that was my first one besides Pride and Prejudice.
Really?
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I like have times when I just only want to read a historical romance.
Yeah.
So this was more my vibe.
I think I've always just hated history so much that I was like, why would I have a romance back then?
Right.
I did like it. It took me a little bit to get into it. And
Me
I was
too.
like, is this what the romance is going to be?
There's a lot of the words that I'm like, can we just use normal words? But
Yeah.
then obviously it wouldn't be a historical romance.
Right.
So if you did,
I think a lot of that stuff made me laugh. Like, I don't know if it was intentional to be funny or if I just thought it was funny. But yeah.
I love
So
that.
our book is Never Fall for Your Fiancée by Virginia Heath. So what's the scoop, Zoe?
Well, let's talk about our author. Virginia Heath is like all the best of us. She's a lover of tea, travel, shopping. And when she isn't writing, she's spending time with her husband and her Labrador, Trevor, which I thought was a
Trevor.
very funny name.
I love human names for animals.
Me too.
Yeah.
Virginia is a native Londoner with a lifelong pastime of making up stories in her head. After 40 years, those stories became the racy historical romances we all swoon for. Virginia has written nearly 30 books, including Never
Dang.
Fall for Your Fiancé, which is the first book in a series of 3 about the Merriwell sisters.
Nice.
Never Fall for Your Fiancé is a wild fake dating romance where a handsome earl hires a fake fiancé to keep his matchmaking mother at bay. But hilarity ensues when love threatens to complicate everything.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's get into it, ladies.
Lovers quarrel.
Let's.
So, this book.
This
I thought
boy.
it was right. I thought it was interesting because it wasn't like, what's it called? First person POV.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like, what is it? Third?
Yes, but it was third from 2 different perspectives.
Yeah. And more from his perspective.
Yeah.
And I liked that.
I love when books are more predominantly male perspective.
Yeah.
I was
because-
surprised.
Because we understand the female point of view.
Yeah.
And a lot the majority of romances are from a girl's point of view
Yeah.
anyways. And you know what's funny? Not to take us off course. But I have been read a lot of books recently that have been just from the girl's point of view, and it like grinds my gears sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to just know what you're thinking. I want to know the full
And
picture.
it's so
Yeah.
nice to know what the guy is thinking at that
Yes.
time, too. Because sometimes he seems like such a bad guy, and then you see what he's thinking. You're like, oh, okay, so...
Like a love letter to
makes-
whiskey.
Oh, my God, that whole
Jeez.
book. That whole book
let's
was
not bring it up.
frustrating.
PTSD from all. Baby agrees.
I liked that it was more from Hugh's side. But one of the things, just right from the get-go, it was like he was trying to convince us that he was this big, like, ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but is he really? Like, it didn't seem like he really
No,
was.
The only time we think, oh, maybe he was with this girl, it turns out that he absolutely was not with the girl.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I was just like, okay. All right. But Hugh is our male
Hugh.
character.
What was
dude.
his middle name? Peregrine or something?
yeah.
Peregrine Standish.
That's an awful name. Well, he has made up this huge lie to convince his mom that he is engaged so that she'll stop trying to match him up with people because he
Over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
It was a
almost
bit
killed
much.
the lady off. He's like, she's deathly ill. I can't travel. The wedding's on hold.
I mean, he probably should have. That would have saved us a
Right?
lot.
But then she would have
whole
gone
book.
back to her ways.
Yeah.
Which a lot of, if you read a lot of historical romances, you'll find that they mention these matchmaking mamas.
Mhm.
Well, that's
A
like Pride and
lot.
Prejudice.
Yeah. But that's the running thing about this time period. It's because if you're thinking about the time period, a lot of the women don't have a position in the world unless they're married to somebody that has money.
Mhm.
And so you'll get these moms who are obsessed with making sure their daughters find good matches, and the moms of the sons who have, that are dukes or earls or viscounts or anything like that. They also have to marry well as well
Mhm.
because they want their heirs to be,
Yeah.
out of good breeding and things like that.
Well, I think
Like how
she
she
just
was
wanted it just because she wanted him to be happy and find love and companionship and stuff.
Because that's what she had.
Yeah. But so he has made up this big, long, story. And he's given this girl the worst name ever. Like Minerva? Really?
He could have went with like Sarah,
Right?
somebody
Well,
that would be easy to
That would
find.
have been a really good name, Sarah.
Sarah
Oh,
or
like a
Anna.
perfect-
There's not a
Yeah.
good Sarah. We have a Sarah
Margaret.
in this story, you
Yeah.
crazies.
We do. He can't have Sarah. That's true. Beth. That would have been a good
Beth
one.
is a good one.
I mean, I feel
Margaret.
like Minerva probably was more popular in that time, but I love that name just because of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, so he's named her Minerva and he's made up this big lie. And then all of a sudden he gets this letter from his mom and she's like, "Hi, I'm on my way.
Yep.
I want to meet your
Be there
fiance."
soon.
And she sent it so late that she was like already on her way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way he could have stopped her. And he's freaking out. And he's walking down the street and he hears this lady arguing with a man over money.
Which is so funny too.
And I kind of liked and was annoyed at this part all at the same time because I liked that he stepped in to help her.
Yeah.
But I also was annoyed that she was like, "Oh, my knight in shining armor.
I know.
What would I
I've
have
been
ever
like,
done without him?"
you're a weird stranger. Get away from me.
Right.
Thanks for helping me get my money. Now never
Yeah.
talk to me
Right.
again.
Well, I was like, you have been basically raising your sisters for 5 years, being the sole provider for your family,
Mm-hmm.
paying rent, keeping food on the table. Like, you do not need a knight in shining armor.
Mm-hmm.
You are the shining
Yeah.
knight.
For real.
And she really never came around to that to realize how awesome she really was at providing and doing all the things.
I know. And her sisters, V,
Oh, I can't stand
I
her.
can't stand her. And I know that she was young, but she acted more like she was like 14 rather
and like
than
spoiled and just
yeah. Didn't like her.
And you know
Mhm.
that
Can't help
she
it.
wasn't spoiled because she really didn't come from much,
Yeah, I mean you can't really be spoiled.
when you don't have enough money to pay bills or eat.
But it reminded me a lot of Kitty and Lydia from Pride and Prejudice.
That's what I thought too.
Mhm.
Which were extremely annoying characters because they had too much entitlement for their situation in life.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Mhm.
really did so much.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I felt about V because
Yeah.
she is, God, just so annoying. But that brings us to more of Meredith's side of this, or not Meredith,
Minerva.
Minerva's side of the story.
Minerva.
Minerva, her dad left them when the day after she turned 19, for her to raise her two sisters by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And because their mom passed away, when she was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
So she's raising her two sisters by herself. And I think Diana's also working. But
Yeah.
right now, V is just going to school.
Mm-hmm.
If I have recollected that
I think that's right.
correctly. So when we first meet Minerva, she is arguing with this man about how he owes her money. And that is Hugh and Minerva's first meet cute.
Mhm.
Love it.
And then he finds out her name is Minerva.
And he about dies right there.
So did
in his
I.
fate.
I was rolling. I was literally outside pulling weeds in my front yard, just cackling. I was like, oh, there you go.
There was a lot of times in this book where I just like giggled.
Yeah. But then he like makes this offer to her after just meeting her.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, I'll pay you. What was it? 40 pounds?
Yeah.
To-
For a month, which she was like, wow, that's a lot. In my head, I was like, girl, ask for more.
Right.
He's
Right.
rich.
Right.
He just
Right.
said he was an earl.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But she's just like, okay. He's like, basically, all I need you to do is come to my house, stay with me, pretend to be my fiance while my mom is here, and as soon as we can get her to leave, I can make up an excuse and get out of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, okay, sounds great.
I'm sorry. He says he's like such a great storyteller. The lies he fabricates are insane.
Yeah.
Like he does not do a little white lie. He's extravagant with the lies.
Yeah.
Well, and even they said that they were like, what is it? Stranger than the truth, nothing stranger than the truth, or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But he really he went all out, and he was ready. He had it all planned. So he's like, come out here. He got stuff to like get them new clothes. They were teaching them about their silverware at the
Yep.
dining table, and then
Yep.
like horseback riding, because he's like,
Mhm.
my mom, she likes to ride horses, and I kind of told her you loved ride horses, so
And
let's go learn.
this poor girl.
That
I
was
know.
so funny.
If I was thrust into this situation, given like the circumstances that she was coming out of, I would have been like the first week of how to be an earl's fiance. I would have been like, I'm sorry, take the 40 back because this is too much.
That'd be stressful.
It's too much
Yeah.
because you got to think. When they had to go and get their clothing done, it wasn't just like, let's run to Target, get a new, or let's go to Zara, or let's go to somebody like
Yeah.
a place really expensive and get stuff. No, everything had to be like
Tailored and-
specific for them, and then having to do all these classes. It's just like, hey, bro, I didn't sign
Yeah.
up for this, but I did, but
Yeah,
I
it was
really
a lot.
didn't. It would have been too much.
It was so much. And you know that like she was so stressed out, but she's such a people pleaser
Yeah.
to
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
except for herself,
Yeah.
which I mean,
I just was
same,
like,
but-
I would not have drugged my sisters there with me.
No.
No, oh my
I would have
gosh.
left them.
As
Uh-uh.
soon as he would have offered me, hey, we can have your sisters go back with a maid, I'd be like, deal.
Right?
Get out of here. Bye.
Yeah. I was just like, and then, so they're on their way there, and Diana's like, he could be a freaking murderer. Like, what if he's going to kill us?
Which I thought
Right.
was very funny.
I did too. But that's another reason why I wouldn't have brought my sisters. Like,
Yeah.
he can kill me, but I'm not going to like offer them up for sacrifice
Right.
too, you know?
Oh.
Right.
Ugh. But
Crazy.
he was doing a lot there. Oh, and then the fake mom. That was the other part
Oh
of the
my
planning.
Gosh.
I was not expecting that.
No.
I was like, what the hell? He even got a fake mom?
And I get that they are supposed to like need a chaperone, but why couldn't he just hire like a maid or something that chaperoned
Or like,
them?
yeah, one
And
of
that's
his
usually what
maids.
happened. If like the person that was coming in, the woman didn't have a chaperone, it would just be their lady's maid.
Yeah.
Or it could have been one of the sisters.
Oh, that's
Wait,
true.
well, they might have not have been old enough for the parties.
How
How old was
V was 17,
so she wouldn't have been old enough.
and then Diana was 19.
She could have probably been old enough to be a chaperone.
Or no, she was older than that.
It's one of my trivia questions. You'll have to figure it out.
You stinker.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, the girls were there, and then Hugh also had his best friend come, Giles.
I loved him.
Mm.
He's so funny.
I couldn't
All of
picture
my favorite
him.
highlights were him.
Yeah, I couldn't. I kept picturing him being this like little fat man.
Me too, because he like always ate so
Yeah.
much, but he apparently was a ladies' man too. So
Well, some ladies just like money, so it doesn't matter.
that's true.
I could not figure it out. I was like, I don't know. But he was no help at all. He was just
No.
there for the show. He's like, I'm just here to watch it all burn down.
He was
But-
our comic relief.
And he told them a lot. He was
Yeah.
like, "This is gonna end in disaster.
Yeah.
no matter what happens."
But then he left early in the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did he go? And we never found out.
No, never. I assume
It's
we'll
in
find
the
out
next
in the
book.
next book
Yeah.
because what I think is that since they're all about them,
Yeah,
I think the next book is going to be about Diana and Giles.
I agree.
Because there was that little tension between them in this
Yeah.
book,
Love a good
which
tension.
is super cute.
It's a yummy tension.
I love it. I liked Diana a lot. She was funny. I liked when they asked her what her favorite books to read was, and she's like, I like gothic ones.
I know. She's like, I've read this one called Frankenstein.
I was like, that's funny. But so then they did one of the things that was really funny was the horseback riding.
Yes.
We kind of briefly touched on that. So he takes them all out there, and V is actually finally willing to like cooperate because she's always wanted to ride horses. So they're doing that, and Minerva is freaking terrible. She can't even get on the horse.
She can do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous. Are you that uncoordinated? Like,
I have never ridden side saddle, and
I was wondering if they were.
That it would be kind of difficult.
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
Like riding normal is, I don't know what it's called when you ride normal.
Western
saddleback.
Saddle riding. Not side saddle, just saddle.
But
spread eagle.
Not spread eagle.
Not.
I'm gonna find a picture of
that
side
is
saddle.
really not like too terribly difficult. But I don't even think I could ride side saddle,
especially in a
I've
huge
ridden
dress.
Horses a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it sounds
probably
like she's
slippery.
riding side saddle, and there's just one little slip for your foot.
Oh,
And I would 100% fall.
yeah.
Look at
But
that.
she couldn't even get up.
It's like you're sitting pretty on the side of a horse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
They look
How are you supposed
adorable.
to do that?
If you slouch, you're gone.
How are they supposed to trot or canter?
You ain't gonna get very far because
No.
that horse is bumping you off.
Yeah, for real.
If I
don't know.
if I took my last horseback riding experience, I would have died. My horse, we were going down a muddy part of this trail and it slipped.
Oh no.
And it had my leg on the side of where we were.
Hmm.
And my hip dislocated. I promise you it did. I promise you.
Oh my God.
And because as we were riding, I was like, "Oh, this does not feel right. My hips do not feel right."
saved
But
the
was the
horse.
horse okay?
The horse was fine. I was
Okay,
the one
good.
that almost died. But if I was riding side saddle and it went against the part where I was side saddling, my legs was on that part, I would have had no legs, man. The whole bottom half of my body would
But
have
if
been
that
gone.
horse would have broke its leg, it would have been dead.
That's true.
Me too, doggone it. We both
You
would have
would've
been
healed.
dead.
You
They
would've
wouldn't have
okay.
taken you out back and put you out of your misery.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, that part was really funny.
That was also the first time we get some like physical,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
which it wasn't like spicy, but
It was like he picked her up.
and she got the shudders. Ooh.
She's like,
Do it again.
"Ooh."
When they be putting that on the waist, the hands on the waist, they just go crazy.
But-
And
oh,
historical.
he saw her leg, didn't he?
Ah, it's the funniest thing to read. Like come out of a comment, like a what is it? Not a commentary.
Modern?
Complimentary. What is
Oh.
it? Modern time
Yeah.
book.
Contemporary.
Contemporary. That's what it is. From a contemporary book to a historical romance,
Uh-huh.
because the dynamics are so
You're
different.
like, dang, that girl's boobs are out, and then you're like, oh, look at her ankle.
Right.
Yes. I know this is a little bit off topic, but I usually wear like tall compression socks to work,
Uh-huh.
and my work pants are like joggers, so you
Mhm.
can usually see like a bit of my socks showing.
Oh God, you're one of
And
those.
a while back, I wore ankle socks instead of my tall socks.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my coworkers was like, she said something like, "Oh, you're showing a little skin," and I was like, "I know, so
Oh my
risque." But so on their way back from the horseback ride, she's freaking pissed because she's like, "I cannot do this," and he's getting annoyed because he keeps having to like slow down and wait for her and all this stuff. She finally gets off and like is walking her horse back.
Oh wait, is that when we first meet Sarah?
I think maybe it was.
We'll just touch on that a little bit too.
Yeah. Because I can't. They went to town.
Yeah, they went to a village and
Uh-huh.
they're like having dinner there, right?
I
Everybody
can't
else
remember.
goes inside, and Minerva is having trouble getting off of her horse,
Oh yeah.
and he helps her down, but they fall because her foot got caught,
Oops.
and I think she's like on top of him or something.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden they hear, Hugh, is that you? Which I'd have been so mad if I was her, first of all. And then you get up and you see this like hot, skinny, blonde girl.
Oh,
And
oh yes.
yeah. And she's like, oh, I thought that was you. What has it been, like 2 years since we've seen each other? And
no.
Hugh immediately is stiff as a board, acting super weird.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like, so obviously we imagine, they used to bang.
They used to be together.
For sure.
Yeah.
They were
Betrothed.
bumping.
Yeah, in love,
That's the word.
something bumping uglies. is
Bumping
that what you're gonna
uglies.
say? Gross. And so he introduces her as Sarah Peters and her husband, Captain Peters. And that was it. Goodbye. Awkward.
Bye.
He's mad throughout the whole dinner. She's mad because obviously something's going on and he's keeping secrets like he always does.
Right.
Yeah. But why is it your business? You just got here, bitch.
Right.
Because we're engaged. Fakely.
But you're fakely engaged.
But I'm paying you.
I need to know
none
all
about
your
this joke.
secrets. I would have been mad too.
I would have been jealous,
Oh yeah.
but not like you can't hold that against him.
No, because y'all literally just met.
Yeah.
And you're paid to be here, honey.
But he helps her back up. Or I don't think he helps her. She like climbs up on her horse. She
Oh,
said, I
yeah.
don't want anything to do with him.
Right.
Fuck off.
Which I like later on. She mentions like, I could see that he was struggling to like help me up on my horse, but he wouldn't say it. And
So stupid. He needs to lift more weights.
well, I kind of like that because then
He's
you
probably a
know
little
she's
dainty
like
boy.
not gonna be all self-conscious because they talk about how
Yes.
blonde girls and like being petite and
Yes.
stuff is all the rage now, and
Yeah.
It still is.
that's so true.
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my
Girl,
god!
don't
Don't
let
even
me do
throw
my
it
boy
back.
Adam like that. No, Adam, I'll fight for you to the end of the day, man. I won't let her do this to you.
I thought she was way cuter in Madam Web than she was in Anyone But You. But anyways, that's super off track. But so anyways, where were we? We're riding back. She is like, I don't even want to be on this horse anymore. I'm mad that you made me ride a horse. I said I didn't want to, whatever, blah, blah. So she starts walking her horse. And then
Girl
I don't
after
remember
my
what
own
happens.
heart.
What happened after?
They get back and they're late getting back because they had to walk and everyone else rode. And as soon as they walk
yeah.
in or they're getting close, Payne comes running, which is the butler, who I freaking love him.
Me too.
Yeah.
He's one of the best.
Yes, he comes running and he's like, sir, your mom's here.
And he's like, that can't be it.
He's like, what?
You must be mistaken.
He's like, no, she's in there right now. And they're like, oh my gosh.
Jeez.
And so that was the big reveal. When they met her, they were not prepared.
Well, she took pretty well to the sisters and everything, so that
Yeah.
was good. And it was good that Giles was there to
Right.
introduce everybody.
Yeah.
So
They would have been like, hi, this is, what's your name again?
Right.
We just met.
yeah, for real.
Never heard of you before.
What did they go by? Landridge.
Yeah. Instead
I
of,
was like, what's her name? It's not Standish. I can't remember.
yeah, Merriwell
Yeah,
was
'cause
their
she
real last
remarried.
name.
No, Hugh's mom,
Oh, Hugh's mom, Olivia.
but I didn't know her last name because they called her lady. They just called her
He
my
was
lady. I think.
Jeremiah and Olivia. No, I don't remember.
Me either.
Well, anywho, they had names.
Not
So
they
the
had
first
names.
meeting is super awkward, and they're like, okay, let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
You ready to go home now, Mom? She's like, oh no, we're gonna spend so much time together. It's gonna be so wonderful.
And it's already awkward because we thought that Minerva was about to dip out and leave.
All right.
And he was like, well, she's about to give up my whole secret right now. And she does not. And
Yeah.
then she says, I want more money.
Yes, that's
Which,
my girl.
good for her.
Period. Because this is too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Too much.
For
But-
such a small book, like it had so many twists and turns in it
It really
Yeah.
did.
that I didn't expect.
Me either.
Because there were so many times I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like a Formula One track.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't get it if you don't watch it. It's a lot of turns. Sorry.
Is it like NASCAR?
Girl.
There's only 4 turns in NASCAR.
It's a big circle.
Formula One is curvy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Guys. Oh my
Well,
It's like when I
Get
drive.
into it.
These sisters,
Curbs involved and everything.
everyone is convinced that these sisters are going to give up the whole
Yeah.
spiel. But Minerva I was like, she gets an award for her acting.
For real.
She
I mean,
did a
they all
great
did pretty
job.
good.
One
She's
of the
getting an
things
Oscar.
that like really kind of stood out to me a little bit was how awkward was that when they went to church.
Yeah. I would have just been like, listen, mama, it's not happening.
So they
Mhm.
walk in and the preacher like greets them at the door and is basically like, Hugh, you dirty old boy, you, welcome back to church.
My
I'm here to save your
God.
There's, like,
soul.
there's dust on the pews back here.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
bro.
so mean.
He
just
was
had
doing too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when he goes to like welcome everyone in front of the whole church,
Mhm.
he like calls him out again.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is so weird.
I was
I'm
like,
this is the
golly.
exact reason I don't come here.
Right?
Right. Because that's how you treat your parishioners.
Yeah.
Do you live on my land? Because you're evicted.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not the victor anymore.
And everybody was staring at her,
Yes.
at Maverna. What's her name?
Minerva.
Minerva. Maverna.
What did you say? Maverna?
Melvern.
You know, that's a good one too.
Minerva. Everyone was staring at her and she's like, they weren't even being subtle. They were like, she's too tall. Look at her hair.
Yeah. I do wish that Hugh had given her a nickname. I mean, I know they call each other like
My love.
my love, but I wanted him to be like Minnie.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not that, but that was
Ver.
the first one.
Sweetheart.
Nah.
Verna. Verna.
Verna.
Minervy.
That's worse, I think.
Oh, Minervy, darling.
You're getting on Minerva.
Oh my
That was pretty
god.
good. Hey, that was
pretty
pretty
good,
good.
Well, I just felt so bad about for her at church. And then later, the next thing that I like really remembered that was funny to me was when they were all visiting in the whatever room and the mom was trying to get everyone to play the pianoforte.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, nope, don't know how. And at this point, Hugh was annoyed at his mom. So he's like, oh, why don't you play, mother? You're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And they had already talked about how his mom did not like Mozart, like at all.
Yep.
And so he basically makes her play Mozart while Latrice, the fake mother,
Yeah.
who is an actress and singer.
Uh-huh. Apparently not a good singer.
Yes.
Because it sounded like she was terrible. The
Yeah.
absolute worst.
And she sang all of the songs.
Yep.
And Hugh's mom was pissed.
And she got smammered.
Yeah.
Like super drunk off the sherry.
I feel like I
What
kind
is
of
sherry?
felt like I saw that
That's
coming.
a red wine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Sorry. It's
Well, she drank
they
it
say
all.
a lot
She sure
in
did.
historical
And the
romance.
brandy.
In the brandy.
Men
Why is it
had
all
brandy.
named after women?
Right. Sherry and Brandy.
Oh, but
That should be your next set of cats. Sherry and Brandy.
That'd be funny.
and Jim Beam.
Jim Bean. Jim Bean, Sherry, and,
Jim Beam.
and Brandy.
Sherry Brandy.
Jack Daniel.
Oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
very off track.
Well, so I felt so bad because at one point they got Latrice to finally stop singing and they wanted Minerva to sing.
Yes, and she was just as bad.
I
That
was
poor
like,
girl.
I'm so sorry. Like, I feel for you 100% because I will sing in the car as long as
Mhm.
no one's listening.
Same.
The
Mhm.
second you're like listening to me, I'm not doing it.
I won't
Yeah.
even sing in the shower because it echoes too much and people might hear me.
Yeah.
And by people, I mean Peyton because we
Yeah.
are the only people in our
If
house.
someone made me,
I was about to say, I think he probably knows how
My
you
dogs
sound.
might start howling.
oh, if someone made me sing in front of people like that, I would die.
Oh, 100%.
I would not be able to do it.
I have to sing at church, and our mics are like so low.
I just mouth the words.
I sing it, but if I can like almost hear myself, I'll like go down
Mhm.
volume wise, like
Mhm.
or like I'll hold the mic far away
Yeah.
because hey, I'm a concert level singer in the shower
Oh,
and in
yeah.
the car. The acoustics in the shower are actually pretty good. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. But if you calling me out trying to tell me I can sing or I
Yeah,
can't
no,
sing,
no.
don't say
I
nothing.
also would probably sing if I had a bottle of sherry.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
That's really about it.
That's
Yeah.
how you'll get me to do karaoke. The baby can also sing.
The cat's like, what's going on?
He's going to freak out in a
I will
second.
say that this episode might have a baby's voice if Adam can edit.
Yeah,
it
if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. So just to know you'll have a baby in the background of this one. At least this one is a little more, not as spicy heavy.
Oh, he doesn't know.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know.
The whole family can listen to this episode.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, the next thing I was gonna say was that they just had so many close calls of like people slipping up and saying the wrong thing and this and that.
So many.
But the day that they did the little trip,
Their day trip.
yes,
I loved that.
I did too.
And
I was
she
sad that it was
so worried. Immediately she was like, okay, this is the day. Okay, because another one of his lies was the way that they were going to break up, she was going to run off and elope with Giles. That wasn't going to work because Giles was gone. So she is told by Payne, hey, get ready, dress warm. And in her head, she's like, okay, Giles is back and I'm being shoon off.
Mhm. They're gonna sweep me away.
However, that is not the case. It's actually very romantic and cute.
I was like, girl, you're freaking out. He's gonna take you on a picnic the whole
And
time.
he did, in like
which
the
is
most
so
romantic
cute.
spot.
Right? Okay, now we've talked about this movie before, and I don't remember, but have you guys seen Ever After with Drew Barrymore?
Yes.
I haven't.
This gave me those vibes. Do you remember?
Yes.
When
I
he
actually
took her-
just recently watched that.
Really?
I'm probably gonna
Mhm.
watch it again tonight.
love
I
it.
haven't seen it.
You know
Oh,
what
it's so
this
good.
whole
on?
book made me think of? Disney.
Is it
Ooh,
really?
Yeah.
I can watch it then.
You know what this whole book made me think of?
What?
Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Every time they did anything, I was like, Princess Diaries 2, in fact, is right.
Oh.
You
better.
know.
Yeah.
See, this gave me a. Oops, sorry. This gave me the vibes of Ever After because, lying, trickery.
Yeah.
But then it was like a more person of a higher standing, like a noble falling in love with a peasant
Commoner.
commoner.
Prince
And then,
and the
but
pauper.
yeah, the one time he took her on a little trip, it was kind of the same thing. Like he took her on this trip, and they went to see that place that was all crusty and broken down
Ruins.
in the book. That's where he took her, where the people did poetry, and lovers
Yeah.
would go to
And it
kiss.
sounds like it's gorgeous. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
the ceiling looked like it was carved in lace,
Mhm.
and the windows were, well, they were windowless, but they had vines.
Yeah,
Like, God, you just
So
painted
beautiful.
a beautiful
just
picture.
like Ever After.
Right? That's what I
Mhm.
thought of too.
But
How could you not fall in love?
and then
I
they
already
kiss
did.
in that pretty
Man.
place.
They sure
Mm.
did. And he pulls away like every time.
Yeah.
And I know why, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop
But he's
tricking
in
her.
love. Like, bro, just give in.
But he doesn't
also
even realize
status-wise,
it. He's like
It takes forever.
It
oblivious.
took him so long.
Yeah.
But so then they go to the ocean, and that was really cool because she'd never seen it. And she
never
was so
been.
happy.
He was like, "We can do whatever you want." My God, I
And
love
then he
that
ruins
so
it.
much. And then
I
he
just need a man to
ruins
tell me
it.
that. Just do whatever you want. Here's a
I
card.
like that when I like that when she got home, her sister saw her and she was like, "We're gonna discuss all this:
Uh-huh.
your sandy body, your messed up hair, and your swollen lips."
Oh,
Yeah.
We're gonna
Period.
discuss
Call
that
it
later.
out. Say it.
But she was upset after that because he had basically like,
Because he's so dumb.
yeah.
Yes.
He thinks he's so good with words,
Yeah.
when in fact
He is not.
he is
He
not.
has the confidence of a middle-aged white man.
Yes.
What did you say that last time?
What book was
It
that?
was from
Oh, The Love Hypothesis.
Love
Yeah,
Hypothesis.
yeah.
Carry yourself with the confidence of a middle-aged white
Yeah.
man.
and he did.
Yeah.
Because by golly, this man was, well, anyways, he goes on this whole tangent about how he really enjoys her and he doesn't want to say he loves her, but he's like pretty close to saying it, and he wants to give himself to her but can't promise her more than that right now. And in her head, all she's hearing is, "You want to bang me
Yeah.
without, you want
Yeah.
to be friends with benefits."
Exactly.
You want me to be your mistress.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And which in fact it was not, because even when I read it, I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I would be annoyed with what he said because I'm not going to promise you everything if you can't promise me anything.
Right.
All he needed to do was give like one more sentence of, will you be patient with me while I like come around to this?
Yeah.
Literally.
Like that's all he
100%.
needed was like a
Literally.
few more words right on the end to like
Yeah.
wrap it up and be like, I'm maybe not saying this the right way, but like, I want to be with you. I'm worried I can't. Can you be patient with me while I figure this out?
Yes.
Even when Payne is like, bro, what did you say?
Yeah.
And he explains it to Payne. It sounds way better than what he said to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Payne's like, did you say exactly that?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, no.
Right.
Well-
that's the sorry.
Okay.
That's a frustrating thing about, I think, romance in general, but especially historical romances, is that it takes them forever to be like, regardless, like the Mr. Darcy situation.
Yes.
Like I will go past your family issues and
Mhm.
you know, not having a dowry big enough for me and da 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 da, and I am in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just say, hey, I know it's gonna be hard, but we gonna make it work because I love
Society
you.
is not okay with this, but I am.
Right. I accept that the ton's probably gonna be talking about us for a
Yes.
while.
Which is another thing from the Love Hypothesis. Is it like, no, it might have been a movie I watched recently. I don't know, but it was like, what's your and yet? Oh, that was a movie. It
What's
was
your
a Netflix
what?
movie. And yet, I love you, or you have all these flaws, and yet I love you.
Oh, okay.
It was actually a really cute movie. I don't know what it's called. Sorry.
And yet,
It's probably called
maybe.
In Yet.
It was not.
The more I say that, it more doesn't sound
It
like
had-
a word. In Yet.
Glenn Powell in it.
Love him. From
I don't
Maverick.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was super cute. But yeah, that is like, you have all of these problems. I have all these problems, and yet, like, we're gonna work things out.
Right.
And that's all they needed. But he did
Yeah.
not communicate that as well as he thought that he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she got pissed instantly, and he did not know why.
Well, okay. I will say this: if some joker came and said that you are this, all negative things, and he'll be like, "But I love you," I'm like,
I'd be like, fuck you, buddy.
exactly.
I mean,
And
that's
yet,
what,
I don't like you either.
that's what Mr. Darcy did, and I was in love with him.
Right. I mean, he redeemed himself. He did, but it took a minute,
And it was raining.
and it was raining. It's always raining.
Well,
I imagined it did in this book.
it probably did.
It's in London. It's always raining.
Oh,
Oh,
you didn't like that? Oh, sorry.
it's okay to fall in love. Oh, one thing that I wanted to talk about was the hang up for Hugh, like why he kept saying all these things.
Oh, my Lanta, this boy.
Oh, it's in my blood. It's
I know.
in my blood. I'm made this
I'm
way.
like, okay, yeah, your dad was a hoe, but you're fine.
Yeah,
Calm
he's
down.
like, my dad was a scoundrel. My grandfather was a scoundrel. I am a scoundrel. I am telling you, I am bad. I am of bad blood. He just kept going and going. And I'm like, are you serious? Like,
Right.
you are your own person.
And no, he
Come.
couldn't be, because he was just so obsessed. And all he had to do was ask one question to his mother.
Right?
Tell me about my dad. What happened in the
Sir-
past?
Okay, but how annoyed were you at the mom when they finally do have that conversation and she goes, I thought you knew. Why the hell would
Well,
he
she
know?
said
Right.
she tried
Yeah.
to tell him when he was younger, but she didn't think he understood. But also, there's no way you explained that whole situation.
Well, I think he was in his 30s, wasn't he? Or is that another question? I believe he was 32.
Ooh.
But
Is she right?
I don't know, is she?
so it's like that's a long time to not tell anybody.
Yeah.
So basically, what had happened was when his father was it when he was dying that he found out about the other family?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So as his father is dying, in comes this other family, and it turns out that his father has what they believe was a mistress
Mm-hmm.
and a child with
What's
him.
a female bastard? Is it also just still a bastard?
Probably.
Oh.
So it
Well,
was
they didn't really care about the females.
yeah.
That's true.
It didn't really matter.
So this girl is Sarah, who we thought was who he was doing the hanky panky with earlier.
Sarah
Curveball.
Peters.
But it was actually his half sister. And,
And he just tells Minerva, "You silly goose. I wasn't having sex with her. I wasn't in love with her. That's my sister.
Right,
she's like,
because
what?
How would I know
the
that?"
easy conclusion there.
Yeah.
But so turns out the real story is his dad was in love with the other woman
Which is so sad.
his whole life.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
His whole
really sad.
life he loved her.
Before he even met Hugh's mom.
Yes. And he wanted to marry her. And I think he proposed.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a farmer's daughter. And he was of noble blood.
And his dad sucked.
And his dad was like, no. And in fact, if you get anywhere near her or talk to her again, I'm going to ruin her whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And so he
Crazy.
was scared for her and didn't want
Mhm.
anything bad to happen to her,
Well,
that he stayed away.
So his dad, which is Hugh's grandfather, actually convinced the girl to break up with Hugh's dad,
Yeah.
which is worse, I think.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
So sad.
Mm.
But so they separate, and then he had already had an arranged marriage planned with Hugh's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And the night before their wedding, the dad ends up meeting with
Yeah.
the other woman, and they sleep together, and she gets pregnant. And then he marries the Hugh's mom the next day.
You
and
dirty
then
dog.
they
Yeah, were they conceived on like night?
had
and
to
the
have
night.
They're twins.
Yeah, pretty much.
they had to have been pretty close together, because they said the mom had said, I found out I was pregnant, and then shortly after that, or around the same time, they found out that the other woman was pregnant with
Yeah.
his other
The
child.
other woman.
And so they're like, oh my gosh, that's freaking crazy. And at that point,
The math is not mathing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
but she's like, I mean, I don't really love you either. Like,
Mhm.
she's like, you're a wonderful friend and I love you that way. But like, this was never a romantic relationship, you know?
Mhm.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah. And so then once the grandfather died, she was like, be with them.
Mhm.
They're your family too. Be with
Which
them.
is so great that she would do that.
Yeah.
And then Hugh's dad, also named Hugh, introduced Hugh's mom to Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And
her
so they were
husband.
secretly in love before,
Yeah.
which is so magical. Thank you for
I
that.
thought it worked.
Mhm.
I was like, that's some good blended family stuff right there.
Yeah. I
So the
know.
last however long you thought your dad was such a bad person, when in reality he was so amazing.
What did he say?
Yeah.
Like 15 years? He was like, I've been mad at my dad for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, you had 15 years to tell me this. And this whole time I'm walking around thinking he was just this big slut
I know,
and
but I
like a
wanted to
terrible
be-
person.
You had 15 years to ask.
Right.
Hey,
Don't blame me, buddy.
ask an actual question.
Yes.
A clear, concise question.
Instead
about
of
what you wanna
avoiding me
know.
at all costs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then it's like, once he finds all this out, he's like, oh, my dad didn't suck. Oh, I can fall in love. Oh,
I'm
I
in love
can
right
get
now.
married.
And now
I
we're
was
rushing.
like, dear Lord.
Should we get married tonight?
Right.
Right? And they were so ugh. But that kind of fast forwarded us. But a couple other points I wanted to touch about was when her dad showed back up.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
Mm.
That little wastrel.
That scoundrel.
Those are good words. Those are good historical romance words, ladies.
But
You're doing your good work today.
Thank you.
turns out the dad was at church and saw her.
Sir, you don't need to be there.
Right?
Actually,
Why are
maybe
you
he
at
does.
You
church?
probably do need to be there.
You know he wasn't. He was probably pickpocketing people.
So this is one thing that was new to me, because once again, I don't do the historical jazz, but I think it was called the banns, which are read at the
yes.
church,
3 times.
and which is so weird. So they have to read the like engaged couples' names one time at church for 3 times. So like after 3 weeks, you're allowed to get married. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's like it has to be announced 3 times, and each time they ask, does anyone want to
Object.
object.
Which is wild, because it's not any of y'all's business. You're
Right.
not even invited to my wedding.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to come to church today.
Right?
Which was another thing
My
that
mom made me.
yeah, another thing that was rude about his mom. She was like, "Oh, I want you guys to go to church with me," but then she convinces then she doesn't tell them that she's having their names read because they were wanting to wait for the wedding, and she wanted them to have a Christmas wedding.
Yeah. She's like, I've already sent the invitations out.
Mm-hmm. But by that time, the dad is secretly back in town.
Mm-hmm. From his sneaky ways, because he found out from like a return address or a forwarding address that the stupid sister V had left.
God, she actually is the worst.
She is.
But that's another thing. You left your kids for this woman that you didn't even stay with.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't want to go back to your kids.
Right.
Like, you're just a bad person, really.
Yeah. He doesn't care. Because he blackmails Hugh. And then he tries to double dip and blackmail Minerva.
Which is really smart of him to try to do. But
stupid, because Hugh said, if I catch you talking to her, then it's all off.
Yes.
Like, I'm not giving you any money.
Which that caused another issue, that Hugh knew about her dad but didn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, she was pretty understanding about it. The only one who wasn't was V, who sucks.
Yeah, she's stupid.
She, for the last however long, 5 years or so, was like, Dad's gonna come back and he loves us. And they're like, well, you need to figure it out.
I like how when Minerva told V about it, she finally was like, okay, if you want to go with him when he comes back, you can just go right ahead and ask him and see if he'll take you with. Like, we're trying to help you and protect.
Because all you do is mollycoddle. Right? Is that the word they used?
Mollycoddle?
I'm pretty sure that's the word they used.
Mollycoddle? Yeah.
Polly Pocket. Wool gathering.
Polly something. Anywho.
she coddled her way too much.
Yeah.
So I also liked that she was like, yes, if you want to go with Dad, go ahead.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
She's like, well, I've been trying to protect your heart for this long, and you're just not getting it. So
at some point, you gotta let him go.
And I hope, because I assume the third book is about her, and I hope she grows up, or else I'm not reading that one.
Right. No kidding.
She's the worst.
But finally, they come to terms, and everyone's happy, and basically him and her are good. They've decided they're going to be together.
And they're going to have their Christmas wedding.
And they're going to tell that was before. Okay, so they decide, okay, we're together.
Oh, okay.
We love each other. And then they're like, okay, we're going to tell Mom. And then they have this, like, their whole thing almost blows up in their face because of the dad and everything like that and the cops. And and then finally they're like, they get to tell everybody the situation. And then that's when Hugh realizes, by God, I love her. And he goes and he proposes. And I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Because that was
I love her.
So
it's like, oh, man. I love her.
So he proposes, and she's like, yes, I'll marry you.
I love your English accent.
Yeah. And so they're gonna have a Christmas wedding because Mom's already sent the invitations out, apparently.
Yeah, that girl, she knew. She was like, y'all are lying, but I know you're in love, so.
Sheesh. I did like that her and Minerva had a good relationship.
Me too.
Because she feel like she missed that, having a good mom
And I really
around
liked
and stuff.
Jeremiah, the way he talked to her. He's so funny.
I like how Hugh stood up with Hugh like, I'm gonna fight this man by your side, but then you're gonna tell me what the hell's going on. Like, oh,
he's so great.
Well, that's all I have, pretty much. So, do you want to do third date?
Let's
I
do
would
it.
love to do third date.
I have a few things to say.
I was gonna say most of it was little.
Yeah.
Like the flutters in your heart and stuff, but then there was a little spice.
All right, give it to us.
Do you want to start with the big spice?
I liked all I call them fuck it kisses.
I know when
someone's like trying not to kiss, they're like, don't kiss her, don't kiss her, don't kiss her. I shouldn't do this. This isn't a good idea. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're just like, fuck it, and they kiss.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
it really is.
I love those. Hold on, we're moving.
Which that was all of their kisses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, several. He looked at me like,
I mean, it would be hard to be attracted to this girl that you always see in multiple layers and long clothing,
oh yeah.
and then all of a sudden she's wearing a see-through nightgown.
Oh, so much talk about
Ooh.
nipples.
Yes, so much.
So much talk about nipples.
And I mean, seeing her, and you're like, okay, I should probably get out of this room. But
Yeah. She's like, I must wear my shawl so that no one can see my arousal from my nipples.
Not the arousal.
So funny. What else do I have here? Oh, I said I was laughing out loud when they had sex the first time. And of course she has multiple orgasms and it didn't hurt.
yeah,
Right.
I was like,
'cause that makes sense.
it never hurts when you're in love.
Right.
But then after she has that first orgasm, she's like, what was that?
Yeah, I thought that was really.
It's demons, you've been possessed.
I always like cringe so hard when they're like the first of many. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, calm down.
Right?
Right.
He's like, I'm so good. Look at me. But when he was, this is my last little part was when he was about to go down on her. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought I would kiss all of you out of principle.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Well, I guess out of principle, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of wish that. So if he would have went down on her and then was like, okay, there's more to come later. Goodbye. I think I would have liked that more than
Yeah.
her like begging him.
Well,
Right.
because sometimes it's nice to read about the guy taking care of the girl and meeting her needs and
Yes.
then not getting anything in return.
Yeah, 100%.
Because more times than not, it's not how that works.
Right. It's the reverse.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I was kind of hoping that too. Like he was like showing her that he cared for her and her needs. And
But
then he's
she
like, no,
felt
I'm fine.
His hardness against her abdomen.
It's so
I'm like,
big.
why is it up there?
Hardness. Hardness.
That was ridiculous.
Uh,
But that's pretty
I
much.
feel like there was a good amount of spice for the book. There
Oh,
could
yeah.
have been none of the sex and just the spicy kisses.
Mhm.
That would have been great. But I felt like if there was more, then it wouldn't have been as good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, historical romance wise, if that was like pretty
Are they even allowed to?
common. Well, like when he was going to kiss her down there, I was like, oh, will you do that?
I was worried, like my thing, I thought he was going to not have any actual penetration
Oh, yeah.
because that would ruin her, as they say in the
Mhm.
historical
Yeah.
times. So I thought he was just going to be nice about it and be like, no, what if this doesn't
Oh,
work
no.
out?
He pushed past her virginity.
He sure did. Apparently multiple times.
He felt it and pushed past.
Oh my
The
Lanta.
phrases. Oh.
But you know what? I've read some historical romances that are way more spicy than some contemporary.
That's because they finally get a look of what's underneath and they can't stop. They're
Right.
like, more than just your ankles are attractive.
Right. Right.
Look at those nipples.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh my gosh. But okay, I don't know. This is every time I read a historical romance, I think of
So much is happening.
literally. Maybe we should take a pause.
That cat was,
He was
Dangling.
hanging. Did you see him?
he said scar.
So
brother.
sorry, Adam. You're gonna hate this episode editing wise.
I thought you called him Rick.
Yeah, I was thinking Rick,
Rick.
too.
They were named from Fourth Wing.
Sit
Some
down,
people
Rick.
Rick.
Carl.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Okay, tell
we're back
us.
in it. I don't know if anybody has this same thought process when they're reading a historical romance, because back in the day they weren't bathing like we bathe now.
Ew.
So like, cause they were like once a week, everybody go get in the wash basin and heat up some water,
I've
and
never
everybody
thought about
uses the
this.
same water,
Gross.
and you just hope you one of the first three. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
So
That's
imagine
disgusting.
and it's hot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
At
and all the
least
clothes
in-
they wear.
At least in this one, they got their own hot baths.
Yeah.
This is true.
But I hope she took a bath before he. Never mind.
Yeah.
But they probably did it with spur of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
The smell.
I do think of that about that every time I read a historical romance. I'm like, y'all haven't washed in a while.
Oh my god.
Y'all little dirty,
That's gross.
little state.
I didn't even think of that.
How about speed date to get off this?
Wait, we
gross
need to do
topic?
fuck, marry, kill.
Oh yeah. Okay. My bad.
Okay. On 3, everyone says who they're gonna fuck.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Giles.
I was saying him.
You guys both said Giles?
Yeah.
I see. I was picturing him to be this weird man.
Some of these chunky guys is got it going on.
You know,
what I'm saying?
I hope he just
I
has
know
a
who
dad
it was.
bod.
I think I pictured him as the guy from Monopoly.
That's hilarious.
like the brand, the icon.
Yeah.
I wonder if he looks
That
like
is funny.
Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I'd still be down, I guess.
Oh. I have referenced someone in my life as Gimli, and it is not a
Oh.
compliment.
Okay. Well,
And that's
I
a
don't know.
hell no for me.
I
agree.
pictured Giles as Chris Pine from Princess Diaries 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so then who are we going to marry?
Hugh.
Hugh? Okay. Who are we going to kill?
Who are you marrying?
Hugh.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
okay.
you were effing
I'm going to F and
Oh,
marry
okay.
him.
Kill.
Goes
Kill
the dad.
the dad.
dad.
Mhm.
Who's your
Obviously.
best friend?
Pain.
Pain.
We did pretty good.
I was gonna say the sister Diana.
Okay, yeah, I like her too.
I liked her, but I want to know more about her in the second book.
Yeah. Pain is a solid, like, I was actually going to put down
close
for
second.
Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to put him to Mary.
I thought about that too, but is he like Hot Albert from
Batman.
Robert Pattinson's Batman?
Yeah.
Or is he? You know what? If Payne was, oh God, what's his name? He's British. And
narrows it down.
Silver Fox, he was Dr. Fate.
Hmm.
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You mean 007?
he?
Mhm.
Whew,
Not
that
007.
man.
What is it?
If that's
James
what
Bond.
Payne looks like, I'll marry him. I F
Any
him.
of the Bonds.
Be my BFF.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Also,
You can have
Daniel
it all.
Craig.
Oof.
Okay. All right.
Speed date?
Speed date.
Oh no.
Trivia or people?
Trivia.
Let's get it out of the way.
I only have a couple. Where are the Merrywell sisters from?
Coldbridge, Coldwater, C, Cobblestone.
It does start with a C.
Mm-hmm.
CL.
C-O-C-H.
CL?
Clodberry. Clockenbook.
Clerkenwell.
Clerkenwell.
We were so close.
It's in the title. It's in the
Yeah.
it's in the series title.
Oh,
This
for
is
real?
a hard one. Who was Minerva's boss that died?
Oh, gosh. I have no idea.
Mister?
Periwinkle.
Phineas.
Mr. Morton.
Morton. That's obscure. I wouldn't have
Very
gotten that
random.
one. I didn't get that one.
That's okay.
What are the horses named?
Galileo.
You take it over.
And-
Come on, you had animals. Come
What's
on.
the other one?
Come on. Is it a philosopher as well?
No.
No. I
Mahogany.
think it's a flower.
Marigold.
Yes, correct.
There we go.
Where is Jeremiah from?
Boston. He's
He's
from
American.
Boston.
He's
the American
American.
Boston.
In Boston.
Boston.
What newspaper published Minerva's art twice?
The Times.
That was one, but it was not the twice.
I don't know.
The London Tribune.
The London Tribune.
How much did Minerva make from that publish?
40.
8.
No, because it would have
8
been
and 2.
weekly. Because
You're pretty close. It's not 8 and 2.
9 and 2. 9 and 3.
9 and
10.
3. It was 9
10.
shilling and 3 pence.
Nice. I didn't know the verbiage, but I
Yeah.
knew the numbers. I was
8 and
close.
2. Where did V leave their forwarding address for their dad?
The drunk dog. The Dougie
You're
Dutch.
close. There is
There's a
dog
pig.
in the word.
Dog.
Black dog.
Duh.
Dog and
Cat, sheep.
No, it's the liquor, the bar he used to go to.
Yeah.
Dog and shake.
I have a cat named this.
Why would you say that? No, I really can't think of anything.
Because we just talked about him earlier.
I know, dang it. Ducky. Duck.
Dog and duck.
Dog and duck.
Okay, now I have an opinion question.
Okay.
Where do you think Giles went?
I think he's got a girl.
Does he?
I think something's... Or
I don't think so.
there's shady business going on.
That's what I think. I think it's more not sinister. I wouldn't say sinister, but I think there's
Sinister, babe.
like not spy-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely got to be undercover somewhere. You know
Or
what I'm
something
saying?
about his like family's business is happening and
I
he's
thought it
having
was
to
gonna
take
be-
over.
Either about his family, since he's always with Hugh, like what's
Yeah.
going on over there, or maybe he just dipped out for fun and said, "You can figure it out," because
Yeah.
he knew he was gonna fall in love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He's on the brink.
How old is everybody?
17. Venus.
Wrong.
V.
V is not 17.
No,
She's 16.
she's
15.
19.
V is 19?
Uh-huh.
How do you?
No freaking way.
They said that.
I'm like 90% sure.
I thought
they
she
said
was
that in the book.
17.
Let me.
How
look
many
it up.
seasons has she had? Because that'll tell us.
When was her first
well, they
bleed?
wouldn't have seasons. if they were.
Gross. I even grossed myself out with that. Well, I'm pretty sure that
Diana
Oh,
was
no.
probably.
She's what? 19? 17. Yeah,
mhm.
that's what the. Okay, sorry, I was wrong.
She's 17. I think Diana
Diane
is
20.
maybe 20?
22.
22. Good
Ooh.
job.
Minerva,
27.
24.
24.
Ooh, that was a
Ah.
guess. And then my brosif is 32.
He is. Good job.
Nice. Nice.
Called it.
Boom.
Very good, very good.
Okay. Do you have people?
I do have people. I only have a Minerva and a Hugh.
Same. Are you gonna? Oh, sorry. I got distracted by a baby.
Do you want to say our Minervas first?
Sure. Mine's a couple,
Did y'all
so
send them in the group chat yet?
Oh. No, I will send mine now.
Max,
I'll say mine and then you can say yours.
baby, do you have anything? Wait, let's let him get his
okay.
last word.
So you're gonna you're gonna send it in the group, and then I'll send mine. We can react.
Babes, do you have anything to say for the podcast?
Max.
You're literally talking
Oh,
the
I'm not
whole
allowed to
time.
say that, am I?
Yes, stage
Say,
fright.
baby. What? Babes, what do you guys say?
That's
That's
probably
it.
sounded cute.
All right. For my speed date, for Miss Minerva, I picked Lily Collins,
Oh, Lily.
Ooh.
daughter of
Oh,
Phil Collins.
really?
Okay,
Yeah.
this is Peyton's
not
girl,
know that.
right?
Yes, it's Peyton's girl
Oh
crush.
yeah,
But
she's gorgeous.
she was in Mirror Mirror.
Such a good movie.
And
Yeah.
so
I love that movie.
I decided with one of these pictures because she I mean, look how cute she is in her little old-timey outfit. Like what I wear to the Ren
So-
Fair.
Oh, I want to go.
I love
Me
it.
too.
I
But
even-
don't go to the Wichita one. Go to the other one.
Well, it was fun and I bought a little cape like hers, so
Yeah, I
I
wanna do that.
so you have been to the one here?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I mean, yeah. We like it a lot, but I want to go to the Kansas City one.
Me too.
For my Hugh Peregrine Standish, I picked Matt Barr,
Matt Barr.
which is a lot harder to say in a British accent.
Matt
Matt Ball.
Matt Barr.
You gotta say ball.
Barr. I don't even know what he's from. He's an actor, and he's blonde hair and blue eyed.
There you go.
Oh,
You know, I almost picked Max Theroy, but he's a little too. This guy that I picked, Matt Barr, looks British. He looks clean cut.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Max Theroy does not as he is in Chicago Fire. He
Mm,
fits
okay.
that role. He's a fits
American.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Well, my picks are a couple. that have already been cast.
Oh, have they?
And, I couldn't help it. The similarities are too much.
It's Ashton Kutcher and
Nope.
Mila Kunis.
Nope. We're going with Dougray Scott and Drew Barrymore from Ever After.
Okay. Yeah,
Look
that's
at 'em.
perfect.
Look at them. They're
That
freaking
tracks
perfect.
for you.
Oh, they're amazing.
That actually is pretty good casting.
Yeah. Said, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're perfect.
He's
He
not
looks so much
blonde.
older than her.
And he is.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
no.
it's perfect.
For sure.
And in the movie, he says, I am not a prince. Kneeling before you, I'm a man in love.
Aww.
I was like,
Stop.
yes.
You better work.
So, smash or pass?
This was a hard one for me because I liked the last half of it. It was really hard for me to get into. But I'm thinking now
Same
that
here.
I have read a historical romance, I would like to read the second one about Diana and Giles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I will say smash.
I said 2 dates.
Okay, yeah. Because it's
'Cause
more
I
than
like-
a one-night stand.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm going to run out in the streets and scream that everyone should read this book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, that's bad. It was
But
terrible.
if you like historical romance, I think you should read it. It's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did like it.
I think
I'll
Go
probably
ahead.
read the other ones,
the more.
the more of them.
Well, Sydney is a historical romance fiend, so
I am.
does it fit?
I think that coming out of as many contemporary books that we consume, I think I wanted a little more spice, and historical romances can give spice.
Yeah.
And so as a historical romance aficionado, I think that I kind of wanted a little bit of a longer book so
Mhm.
that we could have dove into a couple of more things,
Mhm.
you know? I think historical romances do a really good job of the slow burn
Mhm.
trope because it takes a lot more to get into the time period for
Mhm.
this genre. So, I think it's a good weekend read.
Mhm.
I think it's quick. I think you can get through it and enjoy it by the end.
Or like a vacation.
Yeah, a
on a
vacay
flight
read.
or-
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But if you want more recommendations on some good,
I was going to say we should
historical-
make a post.
Oh yeah, I can definitely send
Ooh,
you guys some
yeah.
of my faves.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I like it.
So, what is our happily ever after?
Our happily ever after is Lucky Charm.
Lucky Charm by Anne Marie Meyer.
Yay!
We are
Myers?
excited. we are
Should we
excited.
do that again?
Yeah.
Okay. let's double check her name real quick.
It's
Anne Marie
Myers.
Meyer.
Is it Meyer or Myers?
Myers.
Okay.
With the S.
And
We have to be excited about it.
I think we were all questioning it. Anne Marie Meyer.
It was
Sorry,
Meyer.
Adam. Was that funny?
So I was right.
Yeah, Anne Marie Meyer. Okay, let's try this again.
All right.
And our happily ever after is
Lucky Charm.
By Anne Marie Meyer.
Yay!
this was our
Yes, I was gonna say we have our PR box from her.
yes. I can't wait. I'm so
yeah.
excited. It's like a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce
vibes.
vibe book.
Heck yeah.
And it's not football season, so we're not getting a lot of media on them. So this will be good.
Yes, I know. I talked a lot of crap about the Travis Kelce or the Taylor and
Me too.
Travis vibes, but now that they're gone, I kind of miss it.
Right? I just
So,
want to see them be
Here
happy
we
and
are
cute.
telling you guys about it.
Welcome. Well, what you got, girl?
So that wraps up the end of this episode. If you want to follow us on any of our socials, we are at Lovers Library Pod on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a Facebook group that is Lovers Library Book Club, where you can join us. So if you want to be a part of our book club online, go ahead and join us there. We also are on TikTok at lovers.library.po. We will see you next time.
Happily ever after.
Bye.